Welcome to the Beer, Rum, and Rock and Roll podcast, saving rock, one conversation at a time. If you're watching on YouTube, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on Apple, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, and X. I'm your host, Randy Legault, and back in the co-host seat for our first show of 2026. It's Reed Shimozawa.
Once a year, whether you ask for it or not.
How are you, man? Is it too late to say Happy New Year?
Well, it depends on when you're going to post this, I guess.
That's true. Sometime next week.
Yeah. You're on the line, but I think you're okay.
Are you a New Year's resolution guy?
Absolutely not.
No.
You know, I was talking about that with my wife, and here's the deal, right? Is that if you're going to do something, if you want to make a change, why wait till the new year?
Exactly.
When everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the gym now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's why it never takes, you see.
Just do it when you think of it.
That's right. How was your holiday, man? Was it all cool?
Yeah, it was not bad. You know, it's nice to spend some time with family.
Yeah. Family and friends, ate too much, drank too much, the usual. That was my
Sounds about
synopsis.
right. Yeah.
Hey, I want to mention I had a late, belated birthday soiree at the King's Head, courtesy of your band, Wasted Nation. And it was Andrea's birthday that night, too. We had a great time that night, by the way. That was a lot of fun.
I'm glad you did. I'm sorry we didn't have more time to chat and whatnot, but
Hey, that's all right.
we had a good time, too. The band was running a little loose.
Right.
It was our first gig in a year with no rehearsal.
Yeah.
You know, it's a full night of songs. It's a lot to ask of a bunch of aging rockers.
Well, you play once a year? Like, shit, man, you sounded pretty good to me.
You do what you can do. Smoke
Right.
and mirrors.
It's like, what's that phrase? It's like riding a bike, man. It's fucking all comes back. Muscle memory, Reed. It's muscle memory.
Yeah, it's like riding a bike. At this age, you could hurt yourself.
There is that, yeah. Hey, I want to mention, I also, during the holidays, went and saw you and your buddy Todd Kearns do that acoustic thing at the
Right.
Langdon Firehouse. That was really fun, dude. That was a fun night.
You know, it felt really fun from the stage, but it's always intriguing to me how many people just love that shit. I mean, Todd's obviously, an amazing talent and a great entertainer as well. He can really carry the night
Yes.
on his own.
He's half comedian, that guy.
However, we've known each other a very long time, well enough that there's a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be talked about, and I think people enjoy that kind of added element, let's say.
Totally. Like, you could tell when you guys were joking back and forth, oh, these guys have known each other a long time. You're like an old married couple, Reed.
We are. Yeah, it's always a good time. It's actually the promoter, pulled me aside afterwards and he said, oh, that was really good. We just have such a history. Like, we didn't rehearse anything.
Right.
I barely knew what songs. He showed me a set list after sound check. And we kind of sorted out what we're going to do. And I was like, well, I think I can play along with this one and this one and this one. And
You were taking a break and he'd be like, hey, come up. You're like, am I playing this one? Like, what the hell? I guess I am now. Yeah.
I guess I am now. Yeah. What's the first chord?
Yeah. What key is this one in? Yeah. Fuck. I had a 5 a.m. wake up, so I had to bail, man. I'm like, how long is he going to do these meet and greets for? I got to blaze. Like, I'm too old.
Well, you're too old for meet and greets anyway.
No, I need to wait for him to do his. You know?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun, man. That's a great venue.
It's turning into a thing, these small venues that bring in acts that are a little bigger than what traditionally, a venue like that could handle.
Yeah.
for one reason or another, or that they could attract, maybe is a better way to put it. But it's a really good experience for the audience and for the artist too. It can be a really cool experience because you just get a chance to be really up close, and the people have paid a little bit of a premium to see it. They're there for the music.
Totally.
Or to get, spit upon because they're a little too close.
Yeah, it's not your casual fans in there. It's
Yeah.
hardcore, yeah.
Generally, I find that the people who attend stuff like that are either a big fan of the artist or in some cases just a big fan of music.
Right.
And either's okay with me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's got some cachet, that place, man. I got to get out there more.
There's a few other places in Canada that I've played with, various artists that do a similar thing. And it's always seems a bit more special to the crowd and therefore to the artist.
Right. Okay, man, let's get to it. This show is all about the mighty Led Zeppelin. They were back in the public consciousness last year. Where's your double neck Gibson, man? Come on.
It's with someone who can lift it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It'd be sitting at your chin, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were back in the public consciousness last year, big time. It was the 50th anniversary of Physical Graffiti, my favorite Zeppelin album. Sidebar. And plus, you got that documentary, Becoming Led Zeppelin, was available to stream. And now, 2026, it's the 50th anniversary of Presence as well. So, with this doc out and these album anniversaries, we thought, hey, man, it's a good time to review this doc and put together our top 10 Led Zeppelin songs as well, which was a fucking task. Now, in case you need a refresher, well, you don't, but I like to give everyone the quick wiki bio so we know who we're talking about here. Like, who doesn't know who Led Zeppelin is, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Exactly.
All right. Led Zeppelin was a pioneering English hard rock band formed in London in 1968 by guitarist Jimmy Page, vocalist Robert Plant, bassist and keyboardist John Paul Jones, and drummer John Bonham. Evolving from the remnants of the Yardbirds, they developed a unique, heavy guitar-driven sound with strong blues and folk influences, and were credited as one of the founders of heavy metal. They were one of the most influential and successful rock bands of all time, but they called it quits in 1980 following the death of John Bonham. Led Zeppelin have sold an estimated 300 million records worldwide, achieved 8 consecutive UK number 1 albums and 6 number 1 albums in the US, with 5 of their albums, count them kids, 5 certified diamond, which is sales of over 10 million units each. Rolling Stone described them as the heaviest band of all time, the biggest band of the 70s, and unquestionably one of the most enduring bands in rock history. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1995, and the museum's biography states that they were as influential in the 70s as the Beatles were in the 60s. So these cats are fucking huge and getting it done. Okay, let's start this doc thing. So, Becoming Led Zeppelin. Here's the quick synopsis of what this thing is. Becoming Led Zeppelin is an officially sanctioned documentary directed by this cat named Bernard McMahon, chronicling the iconic band's formative years, from their individual paths in 60s Britain through their legendary 1968 meeting and explosive rise to global superstardom by 1970, when they became the number 1 band in the world. Using extensive, never-before-seen archival footage and interviews, it details their musical journey before fame, focusing on the creative chemistry and early performances. Whoa, okay. Before we give our thoughts, Reed, let's take a look at the trailer.
You could tell it was going to be a good group, but people wouldn't even book the band.
We knew something was in the air. I could feel it around me.
Everyone said, you're mad. You're completely crazy.
But I knew this was going to be the way to go.
It was an electric atmosphere. And that had been what I'd been waiting for.
We knew that we were on the right track.
I wanted it to be something that they hadn't heard before.
first time we played together, it was stunning. It was like a gift from heaven, wasn't it?
Okay, man. What'd you think of it?
Well, I mean, how could you not enjoy it if you're a fan of Led Zeppelin, if you're a fan of rock music, if you're a fan of nostalgia, the 70s, you know, any of the above. I really enjoyed not only the footage of them, but I felt that the doc did a really good job of putting you in that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just a lot of the sort of B-reel stuff was equally important, I think, to placing you in that time and space.
Totally.
Which gets more and more difficult as we get further away from there. You know, I found myself thinking, oh, well, some people aren't going to get this because it's a long time ago now.
Right.
I mean, even for me, I wasn't into Zeppelin really on the first go around. It took me a while. Like, I liked other bands first. Kiss.
Yes. Tunnel vision with the Kiss, yeah.
You know, and eventually that path leads you back to, oh, this is where it came from. Check this out, you know.
So you relate to the game too. I was too.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't have any older brothers and sisters. In the end, it was a cousin, actually, who gave me a recorded cassette. So I didn't even know who it was.
Okay.
It was just on a blank cassette, and it was given to me, and I listened to it, and I can still remember being wildly affected, but also kind of freaked out by it. Like,
right.
Black Dog. It's like,
yeah.
What the fuck am I listening to here?
I know. A buddy of mine cranked, well, it was Zeppelin 2. I'm not sure which song hit me first, but I'm like, what the fuck is this, and where have I been? It was like, for me, it was like around 1980. I was 14, like after Bonham died.
Yeah.
Like I was that late.
It was that late for me before I really, really delved into it.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty fantastic. And I mean, they're four dudes, you know, they were living a life, and then they were living a really different life.
Yeah.
One of the things I really enjoyed about it was when they, I forget who actually said, maybe it was John Paul Jones. He said that, you know, we don't even really like a lot of the same stuff. But Led Zeppelin is just kind of the sound of when the four of us get together. Paraphrasing, obviously. But that could be the most important element of it, is that none of them could have made that sound without the others.
So true. Yeah, the backgrounds are a lot different. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it just became something that was entirely bigger than any of the individuals. And other than the Beatles, is there another band where each person was so important? The answer is probably yes. But let's just put Zeppelin and the Beatles at the top of that.
I don't know, to joke, I was going to say Kiss. They did have that four individual personalities.
Well, to me, it kind of was. I mean,
You
it's
know?
never the same as soon as one person left.
Right. Well, you can't compare Kiss to the... Yeah, you kind of can.
You can, because to us, who are born and more in that era, they kind of were our Led Zeppelin.
Totally.
And they led us back to Led Zeppelin in time.
That's right. Yeah, I thought it was fantastic too, man. Like, the production value is high, which is important for me. Like, there's money behind this thing, right? Which is key. I saw it on IMAX, man, and it looked and sounded fucking amazing. Like,
Yeah, unfortunately, I saw it in my living room, but it was still, yeah, it sounded great. It looked great. There was a lot of stuff I hadn't seen before, which I guess is the whole gist of it. It just kind of transports you, which is a cool thing. Although, again, I do find myself wondering if someone younger than us could even grasp what a life before Led Zeppelin even looked like.
I should make my 14-year-old watch it and see what he thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he said, the interviews with the surviving members, they were awesome interviews. You know what I thought, though, Reed? I thought it would have been cool. I mean, it was great, but it would have been cool if they were in the same room interacting with this footage and stuff, you know?
I thought about that, and yes, it would have been, but I think it can be more telling because people will say things differently or relate things differently if you're sitting across the room looking at someone else who was there than you would if it was just you're free to give your interpretation of that time, of that moment, of that place, of that song. And so I think they probably ended up getting a very honest, recollection from each guy.
That's true. It could get skewed if they're together. That's true.
Yeah, or, tangents happen. And, remember that time when blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Which can be cool, but it just depends on what you're trying to do. I thought it also had a good running length. It wasn't so long they're just like, I don't fucking care what they had for breakfast in the morning that they came to America. You know what I mean? Like, give me the good shit.
It flew by for me, man.
Yeah.
Man, it was really moving when they started playing that unheard Bonham audio interview. They hadn't even heard it. That was crazy moving. That was awesome.
Yeah. No John Bonham, no Led Zeppelin. They were able to maintain that. I think the public at times gets a little swayed and they're like, oh, but wouldn't it be cool to see, and it has happened. But I don't want to see Led Zeppelin with Jason Bonham any more than I want to see fucking Kiss with Tommy Thayer.
Well, they dabbled in it. We'll get to that later, but they did go down that road 4 times, but I don't want to go down that rabbit hole right now.
I know they did, but I'm just saying.
I know. For the most part,
there was never any recorded music with somebody else. There was never any real tours.
Yes.
There was no money grab.
The tarnishing of the legacy was kept to a minimum. Let's just say that.
I can be okay with a show for, something special, the Atlantic thing or whatever it is, Live Aid. But it's a different thing entirely when John 5 is in your band and you're fucking...
You don't think that's a good fit?
Maybe they should just get him in fucking Zeppelin too.
Let's go down the Motley Crue rabbit hole. Now, I will admit, though, when they were doing the Plant Page thing, not to go down this fucking diversion, but let's do it anyway, there was a part of me that thought, hey, you don't know John Paul Jones' phone number? Like, he could have slid right in there. That wouldn't have hurt anything.
I know. You know what? You're too much of a romantic and not enough of a realist.
I am. Aren't you all buddies?
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure to some degree they are. And maybe John Paul Jones was sitting there going, my ringer off or what the fuck?
Well, he definitely is. Remember they got inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? He said that in his speech. He goes, well, I'm just glad these guys finally remembered my phone number. That's what he said. I'm like, oh, man, because I think he was choked. Like, really choked.
That would have made it too much of a fucking Zeppelin reunion. And
it would have.
That's one thing you got to give to Jimmy Page. Between all the fucking wizarding and Satan worshipping and whatever.
Occulting.
Yeah, occulting and potential underage girl messing around.
Uh-huh.
His legacy is intact.
Well, it's his baby. Like, he's the curator of all that is Zeppelin. There's no question about it. And on that note, man, back to the doc, you could really see how this is Jimmy's... He had the drive, the vision, and the talent to put this band together and take it there. It was him.
He definitely did, and but he was also in the position to be able to do so because he'd had the most success. Not only had he been successful as a studio musician, but because of being in the Yardbirds, he was in that position to have the money and the power and the backing to make a statement like that and go, no, I'm going to do it my way, and I have a vision, and if you want on board, this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah. And speaking of the Yardbirds, I have to mention this because I'm such a Jeff Beck freak who was also in the Yardbirds, as we all know. I know they're not going to mention it in this documentary, but I just want to mention it, that the Jeff Beck group released that album Truth a year before Zeppelin's first album, like in 1968. And the influence is undeniable. There's no way Jimmy didn't hear this and think, oh, I'm going to do that only this way. Like, come on.
Absolutely. I mean, and I don't even think he would deny that. And it's been an ongoing thing of how unoriginal some parts of Led Zeppelin were, despite how extremely original they were in other ways.
Yes.
That's not really a secret.
Right. Jeff Beck was pissed, though. He was. He was not happy. Hey, man, you took my shit.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Jeff Beck, great.
He's his own worst enemy. I know.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. It's just like the course of history won't remember how pissed off Jeff Beck was.
That's right. I just had to mention it. Now, this is nitpicky shit, and I know why things are done a certain way, but man, it's a drag it ended where it did, really. Because these interviews were shot pre-COVID. That's how old those interviews were.
Yeah.
You get these three guys in the chair, you should fucking cover everything. Like, cover it all, even if you're not going to use it. But I guarantee they didn't do that. And it's a shame because, man, there's a lot of story left here. You could do part 2 and 3 easy.
Well, we don't know that, but I think probably the reason why, and again, this is speculative at best.
Yeah.
But it's probably because they had that early footage of them.
Sure.
And they probably wanted to center the doc around that.
Great, but where's part 2 and part 3, Reed?
Well, but part 2 and part 3 might be just full of footage that you've already seen, is the thing.
Yeah, but I want to hear them talk about it. That's what I want.
Fair enough. And they may have. Like, we don't know that. You know what I mean? It's rare. Like, how many times I sit and I talk to you here for hours and hours and hours, and somehow it miraculously comes out and it's a fucking half an hour long.
That's true. And
right?
These guys aren't getting any younger. That's my point. You get them in the chair. Cover it, man. Cover it all.
Who knows? None of us know except for them and the guy who did the interview. But there could be a shit ton more. And I kind of appreciate that they kept it cohesive and that they called it Becoming Led Zeppelin. It was clearly an origin story.
And I knew that going in. Just I want more.
Yeah.
I mean, the debauchery was just beginning, Reed.
You can't really talk about that anymore. That's part of the deal. Like, you gotta find a copy of Hammer of the Gods if you want to.
Oh, that's true. But I mean, you got Robert Plant losing his son. You got that car accident he almost died in. He was in a wheelchair. You got Jimmy into the occult and shit. There's stuff to talk about.
Sounds like you already know it.
Yeah, I know, but I want to hear it from them. Right?
Yeah, but that's the thing is, I bet they don't.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at this stage of the game, Jimmy probably does not want to talk about, the shark thing in Seattle or...
Yeah, I know. You always have to bring me down to earth, Reed.
Hey, man. I'm just putting myself in their position.
I know, you're right.
I ain't doing that.
I'm not talking about that shit.
This interview is over.
Click.
Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, big thumbs up for me. It's one of the best rock docs I've seen, and I've seen them all. It's up there with the Tom Petty one, the Rush one, the Eagles one, the Beatles one. It's up there with those, I think.
I think it's really good. I think, yeah, it's in the upper echelon for sure. I mean, it's hard to top that Tom Petty one, that one.
Man, that one's a bar, isn't it? 4 hours long, Reed. 4 hours.
That one is understandably what you want from the Zeppelin one, but...
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I want every album chronologically, Reed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Tom Petty one's something else.
It is. It's arguably maybe the best one ever.
You know what one does that, even though I do not like the band, is that Tragically Hip documentary does that too. Every album,
oh really?
All in order. I'm like, if you're into the hip, this thing is amazing. I'm just not.
I'm not a gigantic fan, but I am a fan of music docs and stories about people, so...
If you haven't seen that one, you should watch it. Okay, yeah, if people haven't seen it, it's streaming on Apple and Amazon Prime right now, and highly recommend it. I haven't bought it yet. I guess the only point of buying it is if they had some extra shit on it, but I bet you there isn't. There's probably nothing.
Probably not.
Yeah.
For now, they probably blew their whole wad.
Yeah. One thing I want to mention, back to when we first discovered the band, was the first time I saw this, Song Remains the Same film, and you saw them on stage live, and you're like, oh my God, okay. These guys are just as good, if not better, live than on album.
It's funny that you should say that because, I just remembered I saw a screening of that at the University of Lethbridge, and me and my friends all went, and that was the first time I saw it.
Right on.
But I didn't get all the fucking B-reel stuff. Apparently, I was not on the same drugs as them.
That I could live without. The
Yeah.
interludes. Yeah.
And some of it was a little, at that time for me, was too meandering.
They'll do jammy.
At that point in my existence, I wanted to hear the concise songs, and I wanted to hear them more like the recorded versions.
Interesting. You didn't realize how loose Jimmy was at that time.
Yeah, now I fully appreciated that. But yeah, at that time, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And don't bore us, get to the chorus.
Dazed and Confused isn't a half an hour long. What are these guys doing?
Yeah, yeah. It's long enough in the recorded version. Thank
Right?
you. Yeah.
Something else I want to mention, Reed, before we tackle this top 10 is they got me, specifically Zeppelin, got me heavily into blues music. Like I'd read about their influences like Willie Dixon and Muddy Waters and Sonny Boy and Howlin' Wolf, and I would buy these best of CDs by these guys, and I did the deep, deep dive into the blues, man. And it was because of Zeppelin.
It's very valid. And I as well thought a lot about how their great blues numbers affected me, and yeah, how they just opened a different door for me.
Okay, man, let's do this. I'll let you go first. Just give me your brief thoughts and your criteria or how you fashioned your list.
Well, the problem is that there's just too much. The criteria can be like, well, can you not have Stairway to Heaven? The answer is yes. But it's worth considering, right?
Absolutely.
You know, can you ignore a song that is so important in the canon of rock music? They covered so much territory in terms of just musical direction.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's straight up riff rock songs, the blues that we talked about, some pretty deep forays into hard blues, or in some cases heavier blues, or even in some cases more of almost a progressive kind of take on the blues.
Fucking folk shit.
Folk shit, fucking songs about fucking Lord of the Rings.
Wizards and warlocks.
Wizards and warlocks. You know, there's short songs, there's long songs. There are the epic songs.
Yep.
It's overwhelming. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of criteria. So what it came down to for me is, what do I like?
Exactly. Yep.
You know, there may be some songs on here that I don't listen to all the time anymore because I've heard them a million times, but they're still important to me for one reason or another. So that's entirely what my criteria is. What moves you?
Right.
What moved the needle when you first heard it? You know?
Right, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's how you should approach it, I think, anyway. Who cares what Rolling Stone has to say?
Well, you're going to change their minds anyways if you get big enough.
That's right. Well, they hated Led Zeppelin to begin with, so there you go.
They hated Led Zeppelin, and I love that they just didn't care. You know, even as a fledgling band, when it's very easy to care what people are thinking and saying, it just didn't matter. And now, granted, there's a very different time. They probably only had to see that once and then ignore it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas if they were checking their fucking Instagram and
Well, that's true.
everybody in the free world was
Yeah.
posting the negative review that Rolling Stone wrote.
Plus, when you're selling out stadiums, do you really give a fuck like what the critics say?
Well, but at that point, you know, that was around that first tour, right? They covered that in the doc. It was like they were having a lot of success, enough success that it probably helped them to not fucking care. But they weren't.
Yeah, they weren't stadium level yet.
They weren't stadium at that level. They were like Fillmore East, you know. On that first tour, when that bad review came out, that was for Zeppelin 1. By Zeppelin 2, Rolling Stone had already significantly sort of backpedaled. Not completely, but
Yeah.
I believe anyway.
In my mind, I thought they hated them pretty much the whole run, but I guess maybe that's not true. Maybe that's just in my brain.
I mean, if you can give Led Zeppelin 2 a bad review, good on you.
I know. Or 4, or 3.
I think you just want to be angry if you're capable of that, you know.
Okay, buddy. Let's do it, man. Tear the Band-Aid off. Let's give me your number 10.
Okay, my number 10 is one of the epic ones. And surprisingly, I didn't end up having a ton of the epic songs on my list. I thought I would have more because those are the ones that have stuck with me a lot. And it's this one.
That's all right with me. Oh man, that song is so good.
Right away, I'm so captured. But admittedly, when I first heard this bit, I was like, pretty fucking jazzy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then, you know. I mean, the guy wrote the best riffs ever.
You got to tell people the name of the song, Reed, just in case.
Oh. 10 Years Gone.
There you go. It's 10 years gone.
I had to think about it for a second. I mean, with the possible exception of Tony Iommi, is there anybody who wrote better, more timeless riffs and kept them going?
It's those two cats, yep.
I mean, come on. Unbelievable. And that song is epic. It's cinematic. It covers such a range of feelings, musicality, and such amazing performances from every member of the band.
Man, you sound like you could be saying that about a lot of these songs, eh? Just exactly that.
And that is why it's so hard to choose.
Exactly.
Because they are a band who was consistently putting their best foot forward.
Yeah. And so many flavors within one song. There could be different riffs. Ah, Jesus,
Yeah.
it's killer. Yeah, that's an awesome song.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I couldn't shoehorn it in. I didn't pick that one, but it was definitely on my long list.
Yeah, I think, it'll be amazing if we're super close to each other just because the catalog is so vast and there's so much great material there.
Yeah, and you know me. I've got this weird criteria. You're going to laugh. Okay, here's my deal. I pretty much like every Zeppelin song, except 3. I could do without.
Maybe that's what should have been the title of the episode. The 3 songs you don't like by Led Zeppelin.
It would have been easier. Hats off to Roy Harper off 3. I could live without that one.
Fair enough.
And the Crunge, I could never get into.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of an odd choice.
And this one's fun, but it doesn't sound like Zeppelin to me as Hot Dog. Like, it's fun, but I just don't really get it. But
yeah, fair enough.
anyway, so to get my list down, Reed, I needed to find some fucking constraints. I have to find a constraint of some sort because it's too hard. Here's what I came up with. I only picked their more original compositions. No blues ripoffs at all. So Levy's not going to be on my list. Like this kind of stuff that's right from the fucking blues. I didn't pick them. All right. That's how I went. So I thought that way our list won't overlap as much probably. Who knows?
Yeah.
It's a win-win. Another challenge, like you mentioned it, was if the song's popular and overplayed, you have to kind of put that out of your head too, because a good song's a good song. Who gives a shit, right, if you like it? And the order was just torture.
I mean, if you ask me again tomorrow, the whole list could change. Never mind the order, but 8 out of 10 songs could be different songs almost. Like, it's crazy.
You know, I like to do the lyric thing. I'll give you some, see if you can tell me what it is. I'm so happy I'm going to join the band. We're going to dance and sing in celebration. We are in the promised land. Celebration Day off Zeppelin 3.
Well, you kind of gave it away.
I did. It's right in the lyric, yeah. I'm starting you off easy. Yeah, from Zeppelin 3, 1970. Page, Plant, and Jones do this one. My fun facts. John Bonham's drum tracks were used in the intro, but the engineer accidentally erased them, Reed. So they used that drone at the end of Friends to fill the gap going into this song, eh? That's what happened there. The recording of this album took place at Headley Grange in England. In the Rolling Stones Mobile, which is in Calgary. That still blows my mind that Rolling Stones Mobile is in Calgary here.
A lot of crazy important music was recorded.
Right? I mean, it just rocks. It's funky. There's some cool changes that give it some real dynamics. I got a Jimmy Page quote here. There's about 3 or 4 riffs going down in that one. Half was done with a guitar in standard tuning, and the other half was done on slide, tuned to an open A. So, I mean, the guy is just creative as hell with his guitar parts, right? Robert Plant is singing a bit offbeat on this one. Like, if you know it, he's off. Like, it feels like a living, breathing fucking rock band playing this shit. That's what it sounds like. Jimmy's solo is great. I don't know what else to say. It's awesome.
It has a bit of progressiveness to it.
Right.
That took flight more later on. But that was one of the first songs that really gravitated toward that
Right. I have a quote from Rick Rubin. He says Celebration Day feels like a freight train. Even though it's not one of their heavier songs, there's tremendous momentum in the way they play together. The bass playing is beyond incredible. Yes, it is. And the guitars interact really well. There's a heavy riffing guitar, which is answered by a funky guitar. Yeah, so it's, again, those two feels blending. It just sounds so unique, right? Yeah. Celebration Day, my number 10.
Number 9 for me touches on another category of Zepp. I really dig a lot of the folkier sort of stuff that they did because it opened the door to some of the quiet, loud stuff that has become a mainstay in rock music. This song actually doesn't have the loud part. It's Going to California. It is just such a beautiful song and it's so moving. You know, I've had the good fortune to perform that song with a full band doing it, you know, the way it was recorded. And it's just very moving. And you could feel something back from the audience when you perform that song. And I think that's all that needs really to be said about it. Again, everybody's important. Everybody does what's right.
Nobody's hitting skip on that one. At least I'm
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Right.
It always sounds great.
Spend my days with a woman unkind, smoke my stuff and drink all my wine. Made up my mind, make a new start, going to California with an aching in my heart.
Okay, my number 9. What's my little hint here? On stage, Robert Plant introduced this song like this, Reed. If you like motor cars and parts of the human body, then sometimes you get trampled underfoot. It's Trampled Underfoot off Physical Graffiti 1975. Again, Jones, Plant, and Page all chiming in. So this song, like he's alluding to, uses car parts as sexual metaphors. So you get like trouble-free transmission, helps your oils flow. Baby, let me check your points. Fix your overdrive, Reed. Here's one. Factory air conditioned. Heat begins to rise, guaranteed to run for hours. Mama, it's the perfect size. You get the idea.
There's a fair amount of lyric there that I had never really noticed before.
It's pretty funny, actually. You get that cool, how do you pronounce this? It's a clavinet.
Yeah.
It's like a type of piano John Paul Jones is playing there. Got a different sound.
It was used in a lot of R&B and funk music, you know, Stevie Wonder.
Exactly, because this tune
Yeah.
is funky again.
Yeah.
These guys are tapping into the funk vibe, man. Jimmy plays a bunch of tasty parts throughout this entire track again. It's just awesome. Do I have any fun facts? Yeah, I do. John Paul Jones is credited Stevie Wonder, boom, Superstition, with the inspiration for the beat. So there you go, Reed. This is the first song Robert Plant played on his solo tour in 1988. He was finally embracing his past. He actually dusted this one off.
Interesting.
And played it live. That's the first time he acknowledged the Zeppelin thing, because, man, he was definitely steering clear of it at the beginning of his solo career. But, yeah, Trampled Underfoot. It's my number 9, man. Kicks ass.
Number 8. Well, I knew I had to pick a blues somewhere. Like an actual blues, not just something, you know, stolen, but a full blues song. Because what they did was they lifted a lot of, like, you know, Willie Dixon and stuff like that, but they would put it over a heavier rock riff that was blues based, but they also did some real blues. And my favorite, probably,
Can I guess?
yeah.
Is it off Zeppelin 3?
Well, if I say that, then it's pretty much a giveaway, yes.
Since I've Been Loving You?
Yeah. Since I've Been Loving You, to me, before I liked blues, I like that song. There's something about it. The performance is unbelievable. Again, from all members. They just know how to react to each other, when to say little or nothing, or when to let it go. It is a real conversation almost, or an interaction between the four band members. And the performances are so organic and amazing. And I can only imagine what it must have felt like to be in the studio and to play it and then to listen to it back and go, holy fuck, did we just do that?
No shit, hey.
Baby, since I've been loving you, yeah, I'm about to lose my war and mind. Ah, yeah.
It is truly amazing. And I wanted to give an honorable mention to The Song Remains the Same version, because I love that version as well.
I was just going to ask you that. Jimmy's solo on that might be my favorite Jimmy solo.
It might be mine too. And it's, you know, it's not without its little hiccups and, you know, his Jimmyisms in maybe a slightly more negative way. But he just makes it up for it 1,000 times over with some of the phrases, some of the note choices, the emotion that's in it. Just the abandon when he gets to the peak. There's so much fire in it. It's way better than a technically perfect performance.
Oh, I'm glad you picked it, man. This is working out great. You're picking everything off my B list. It's fantastic. Perfect, man. Okay, my number 8. The lyric goes like this. Hey, hey, mama. Said the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove. How is Black Dog not on somebody's list? Let's hear it. Yeah, come on. From Zeppelin 4 in 1971. Again, Jones, Plant, and Page. Fun facts. First track off the album. It became one of the best-selling albums of all time. Over 37 million copies estimated. Oh, my God. The song was released as a single and is included in Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Songs of All Time list. Title is a reference to a black Labrador retriever the band used to see wandering around the Headley Grange studio where they recorded the album. What else can I tell you? Lyrics about a man obsessed with a woman. She's got a flaming heart, can't get my fill. I like this one. Can't keep away from her honey drip. What's he talking about, Reed?
I don't know.
And then she shows her true colors, spending money, taking his car, telling her friend she's going to be a star. And then he turns on her saying, a big leg woman ain't got no soul. You got Jimmy opening things up with like, I don't know how to describe it. It sounds like a guitar revving up or warming up.
Yeah, it's kind of,
He does that quite a bit. There's like something like that before the Immigrant song has that. And that song Friends has something like that. So he was into the creative intro. And then you get Robert coming in a cappella. Hey, hey, mama. I mean, fuck, it's killer. And then you get that call and response thing that occurs throughout the song. It's Robert then the band and Robert then the band. So apparently, I didn't know this, did my research. Jimmy got that idea from Fleetwood Mac's Oh Well does that call and response thing. That's where he got that idea.
And it has continued ever since in the history of rock, blues-based rock. I mean, you know, there's been lots of songs like that. Still of the Night.
Boom. Yeah, heavy Zeppelin influence, yeah.
Yeah.
John Paul Jones is credited with the main riff, writing the main riff, and he was inspired by Muddy Waters' track Tomcat, which has that same kind of off-kilter beat somehow. Because here's what's cool about this song, Reed, and we've heard it a million times, so your average person probably doesn't even realize this, but there's some rhythm changes. It turns back on itself, like it crosses time signatures, like it's wild. Maybe you can explain what I'm talking about.
I can remember trying to learn that song and just not being able to follow it. Like, I knew how to do the notes. I knew how to, then it goes down to this part. You know, from, it starts there. And then. And was like, what?
I know.
You could have done that differently so it was made more sense.
But yeah, there's that part, like it's around 40 seconds to around 50 seconds where the guitars aren't even in sync with the drums, dude. Like,
well, they are, but in a very like non-traditional sort of way. And that's exactly what I'm talking about, where you're just like, why did they leave it like that? It feels very like deliberate.
oh, totally.
Even though I'd be willing to bet that maybe it wasn't deliberate the first time they jammed it.
Well, I know
Maybe.
that Bonham had a hard time with it, so he just played it straight. Like, he just, fuck it, I'm just going to play this thing straight. You guys can do whatever you want.
And ultimately, his choice of him playing it straight, it's such a weird feel. Like, even when he just comes in with the basic groove, it's not what you expected.
It really isn't. It's so cool, right?
It feels like almost like it should be double time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to think of it a different way than it is now. But if you try and imagine yourself as a first time, like, hey, I got an idea. Let's hear it, JPJ. He plays that. My first inclination as a drummer would not have been to play what Bonham played. Which is probably why he's John Bonham and I'm
He's John Bonham.
sitting in my basement talking to you.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're just so talented and it's just so tight that they can do this shit, man. It's a powerful track, man. Yeah,
It's amazing.
Black Dog's my number 8.
Hey, baby, when you walk that way, watch honey drip, can't keep away.
Okay, number 7, dude. What do you got?
Number 7, it's another epic one. It's No Quarter. No Quarter is such an amazing song to me. It's one of a handful of their songs that just transports me. And I actually, for this one, I did choose the Song Remains the Same version.
Well, you got to have that dry ice, Reed. All that dry ice coming up.
Man, it is just such a moment, such a feeling. And when the riff comes in, it's just like, yes, but it's so dreamy. Before that, like, the roads. It's such a showcase for John Paul Jones, too.
Oh, totally.
He's amazing in it.
Sometimes he'll go off, and this song could be 20, 30 minutes long. This is one of those.
Well, that's part of what I do love about the Song Remains the Same version is it is extended in that before the guitar solo, he just, playing for a while. And it's so beautiful. It is just unbelievable to me, and it is one of the big moments for this young kid watching The Song Remains the Same.
They wearing steel despite a dream. Oh, to build a dream for me and you. Into the path where no one.
It's so good, Reed. It's my number 7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's wild.
House of the Holy, 73. Jones Page Plant. I'm going to just read little lyrics because they're so cool. They're wearing steel that's bright and true. They carry news that must get through. They choose the path where no one goes. They hold no quarter. Fun facts. Like the Immigrant Song, it evokes imagery from Vikings. The Vikings in Norse mythology with lyrics such as, the winds of Thor are blowing cold.
That's cheesy as fuck, but I'm buying it. I'm like so there.
I was just going to say, you could easily dog it, but I'm buying it too.
Yeah, I'm just
totally.
like...
Yeah.
And then the woo, you hear the howling sound.
You just got to buy in.
I'm there.
Have you heard Tool's version of this?
No.
It's kind of cool. It's worth a listen. I mean, it's not Zeppelin, it's Tool, but it's kind of cool. What are my notes here? Yeah, atmospheric and moody. You already said that. Epic. That guitar riff is so awesome. Apparently, Jimmy uses a pitch controller to drop the whole song down a semitone, Reed. That's what he did there, which you probably already knew. But
I didn't know that.
that quiet, loud thing, awesome. Yeah, you mentioned JPJ, man, that Mellotron. Like, he's just an amazing musician. This band is not this band without that guy. There is no doubt about it. It's not all Plant and Page.
I think he's probably the most unsung of the four members,
Totally.
but undeservedly so. Like, he was so important. You know, it's just that he was never like standing in the spotlight while he did it.
Right.
I mean, there's no Led Zeppelin without him. I just don't think.
No, and if you watch that documentary, he was a session guy just like Jimmy, and he's playing on all sorts of high-end fucking stuff where you're reading charts. And I mean, this guy is a real musician. He's no joke. I got another Rick Rubin quote. I'm all about the Rick Rubin quotes, apparently. It takes such confidence to be able to get really quiet and loose for such a long time. Zeppelin completely changed how we look at what popular music can be. Yeah, I mean, this band opened up my eyes for sure.
In so many ways, they were so brave in their approach to things. Like, yeah, being quiet or just making a bunch of noise for a couple of minutes. Yeah, anything goes. If it was interesting to them, then it flew.
No
And
compromise whatsoever. I don't hear
Yeah.
any compromising on anything they do.
In a way, they almost, I mean, you listen to Page talk about how FM radio was just starting and how he wanted to build a band that was purpose built.
AOR, as they say.
Yeah, you know, to play whole sides of albums. And that's what he did.
No singles.
Yeah. Well, they still ended up with some pretty important singles, but
Yeah.
not on purpose.
No. Okay, buddy, what do you got for 6?
I have Ramble On.
Nice bass line on that one.
Amazing bass line. Amazing song all around. Like, appears kind of simple, but it's so well orchestrated. The acoustic part that plays throughout the song is not quite what you think it is. I've seen people play it a million different ways, and everybody's got their own interpretation, which I actually think shows how Jimmy had his own approach to things and didn't sound quite like what people expected. And so when people interpret it, they're always coming up with these different versions, myself included. I probably, you know, when I was a kid, I'm sure I played that song very differently to how I would play it today, particularly the acoustic part. But then, you know, the harmony guitar part that comes in, I mean, there's just so much to it. It's an amazing song.
No doubt about it, man.
And again, the quiet, loud thing.
Yeah, again, they did a lot of that, didn't they?
They did a lot of it. They were pioneers of it.
Yeah.
But they did it a little differently than how we came to expect the common way it was done, you know, which was, let's play this part really quiet. Okay, then let's play it really loud.
Right.
They would have a completely different approach in their quiet bits and then introduce a riff in the loud part.
Well, even within their own catalog, it never sounded like they were repeating themselves.
Oh, God, no.
To me. Okay, man, and my number 6 goes like this. Oh, let the sun beat down upon my face, and stars fill my dream. I'm a traveler of both time and space, to be where I've been. It's the epic Kashmir. Physical Graffiti 75. Bonham, Page and Plant on this one. Fun facts, I got a bunch of them. It was originally titled Driving to Kashmir. The song had begun as a lyric Plant had been inspired to write after a long drive through southern Morocco. Its meaning has nothing to do with Kashmir in India at all. So that's kind of funny. Session players were brought in for the string and horn sections, and then Jones added that mellotron again. Robert Plant felt the drumming was an important component of the song and that Bonham did not overplay his part. Page said, "It was just Bonzo and myself. He started the drums, and I did the riff and the overdubs, which in fact get duplicated by an orchestra at the end, which brought it even more to life. It seemed so sort of ominous and had a particular quality to it. It's nice to go for an actual mood and know that you've pulled it off. Yeah, they fucking pulled it off all right. I mean, it's killer. It's so powerful, man. I love it. You?
I love this song. It has such a strange arrangement. This is another song that I have played before, and you can play the song 100 times and still fuck it up if you're not thinking about it very carefully. It's just a very weird arrangement, and you could tell that I feel like, especially just from what you just said about him tracking it with Bonzo, is that I feel like he might have made it up. The arrangement on the spot. Like he had the parts. Oh, I'm going to go back to this bit now and then do this and then, it's long.
It's long. But man, that riff is so good.
It's so timeless, and it is one of the classics for sure.
And Bonham just laying down that 4/4, and Plant is wailing. Like, I like it, it's about the halfway point when he does that scream. I get goosebumps every time. It's just wicked.
It is a masterpiece, and it's amazing.
Man.
And it's, again, another place where we talked about blues, we talked about folk, we talked about the funkiness, we talked about the heavy riffs, but as of yet, we haven't talked about the Eastern influence that started to poke into their music. And there you go.
Yeah. And that orchestration, fuck it, just makes it massive.
The mellotron part is very, modal, exotic sounding, super cool.
And man, we talked about this already, but Jimmy is just a master at arranging. Like, his vision on this stuff is unbelievable.
He is. I have to wonder if JPJ might have done the arrangement for the horns and orchestral instruments because that was his background.
Right.
He did that, I mean, obviously we know that Jimmy's capable of doing arrangements as well, but that was actually part of John Paul Jones's background, I believe, was doing charts and arrangements for orchestral instruments.
I mean, think about it, 1975, Reed. I mean, this is an unusual sounding track. Like, this is not blues rock derived at all.
It is still today an unusual sounding track.
It's more proggy.
Yeah.
They go down that road, man. It's still heavy.
Yeah.
Robert Plant's quote, I'll end with this. I wish we were remembered for Kashmir more than Stairway to Heaven. It's so right. There's nothing overblown, no vocal hysterics. It's perfect Zeppelin. That's what Mr. Plant had to say about my number 6, Kashmir.
As I scan this racing line, trying to find where I
All right, man. Number 5. We're halfway there.
One of the very first songs I heard before I was, a real Zeppelin fan, when I was more of a casual as a young man, was Good Times, Bad Times.
Oh, yeah.
Off Zepp 1. I don't think they ever got more straightforward than that. Even though it's not super straightforward, there's a lot of crazy little elements of, but as far as a song goes,
right,
it's a fairly straightforward, concise arrangement.
It's more complicated than you think, isn't it? Like, it's hard to play, isn't it?
It is. Well, especially if you're a drummer.
Right. There's
a lot of drummers who cannot play that kick drum pattern that Bonham did with a single foot. Yeah, it's very difficult.
Well, that 07 show, they opened with that one. So they did not ease into things. It was just like, okay, let's go, man.
I mean, from a guitar standpoint, it's fairly straightforward. I wouldn't say easy, but straightforward. The bass is super cool. That one place where it breaks and the bass gets a break, that's incredible. But I just think it was like early on, they could just rock too.
Yes.
And sometimes that gets forgotten in the scope of all this grandeur.
Right.
But sometimes they could just rock and get it out in a 3-minute song or whatever that is, and is equally as great.
no matter how I try, I find my way through the same old jam. Good times, bad times, you know I
speaking of rocking, I'm going to rock right here. Hey, fellas, have you heard the news? You know, Annie's back in town. It won't take long. Just watch and see how the fellas lay their money down. Heartbreaker off Zeppelin 269. All four contributing to this one. I got a bit of a love-hate relationship with this one because once you've heard it a million times, I don't want to hear that solo. I just want it without the solo and just rock it out. But I still love it. It's still my number 5. It opens second side of Zeppelin 2. It's one of my favorite riffs of all time, Reed. The swagger is undeniable.
You picture Jimmy Page when you hear that riff.
You do. Absolutely.
In the dragon suit.
Yeah.
Like,
right here.
Yeah, that's what you picture, you know? It sounds like what he looks like.
It does. And fuck,
Yeah.
It swings, man. This one really swings.
It's a great song. Again, kind of a non-standard arrangement, you know, that it modulates up. The riff does the, you know... And then it goes up to... And later on, it keeps going up. You know, and keeps going up. Then, of course, we get to the unaccompanied guitar solo, which... In the 80s, people loved to talk shit about that solo because, you know, we had Yngwie and Steve Vai and a bunch of other perfectly clean, amazing guitarists. But, and, like, there's so much fire and so much balls, and it's all there. And yeah, it's kind of sloppy. But
It's part of the charm, though.
it is part of the charm. And then the closer, the riff that comes in after the guitar solo... Redeemed. What a great riff.
Yeah, completely different again, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a quote from Jimmy on the solo. He says, the interesting thing about the solo is that it was recorded after we had already finished Heartbreaker. See, this is my point. It was an afterthought. The whole section was recorded in a different studio, and it was sort of slotted in the middle. Sometimes I wish they would just left it out, Reed. But on the other hand, I've got Eddie Van Halen claiming that Heartbreaker... That solo was the inspiration for his tapping technique. He said, I think I got the idea of tapping watching Jimmy Page do his Heartbreaker solo back in 71. He was doing a pull-off to an open string, and I thought, wait a minute. Open string? Pull-off? I can do that. But what if I use my finger as the nut and move it around? I just kind of took it and ran with it. That's putting it mildly. But yeah, so there you go. EVH. He dug it.
Yeah. It's historic at this point.
Yeah.
And it is great. It's not on my list, but it's a great song.
And you mentioned Steve Vai. I got one from him. He says, Heartbreaker had the biggest impact on me as a youth.
Interesting.
It was defiant, bold, and edgier than hell. It really is the definitive rock guitar solo. That's Mr. Vai.
That's kind of shocking to hear him say that. Maybe it moves him up on the ladder for me to hear him say that.
And Rick Rubin again, one of the greatest riffs in rock. It starts... and it's like they don't know where the one is. Magical in its awkwardness. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, number 5 is Heartbreaker. Okay, man, number 4. What do you got?
I have another Quiet Loud one, actually. I didn't realize it.
Awesome.
And a song that was, what I'm led to believe is that it was kind of important to them early on. Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. Apparently, I think it's in the doc, actually. Page says that he played the Joan Baez version of that song for Robert Plant, and they kind of bonded over it. But not content to leave it as is, you know, they made a heavy part. That part, for me, again, as an early lover of Zeppelin, that was one of the things I was like, oh, this I get.
Right.
Just the whole... You know, just that part, I was already intrigued. And it sounds beautiful. Like, for something recorded in that era, like the fidelity of that guitar always just got me. I was always like, oh, I'm so intrigued by the sound of that guitar. And when it gets to the heavy bit, I'm like, okay,
I'm in.
sold.
Yeah. And as a kid, I don't know these are lifts. I don't care. It sounds
Yeah.
like awesome.
No. I mean, to me, music is music. Not that I'm encouraging anybody to lift anything, or you know what I mean, but
Yeah.
it's either good or it's not.
I know I never, 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 never gonna leave you, babe. I gotta go away from this place. I gotta quit you, yeah. Oh, baby, 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 baby.
Okay, man, my number 4. We're going epic again. The mighty arms of Atlas hold the heavens from the earth, Reed. Achilles' Last Stand, off presence, 1976.
Man,
Plant and Page.
that's one I didn't even think of.
Oh, how could you not?
Yeah, how could I not?
This thing is 10 and a half minutes long. Dude, and one of their most complex songs for sure. So the title is an ironic reference to Robert Plant's automobile accident back in 75. He severely injured his ankle as Achilles was brought down by the arrow, you see. So he was unable to walk for a year, dude. So he recorded the bulk of that album in a wheelchair. So the working title of the song was the Wheelchair Song.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it opens with that Moroccan influence guitar thing Jimmy's doing, haunting tone, and then Bonham and Jones kick in and they drive this whole fucking song.
It's an amazing song.
You get Plant's vocal parts. They're just kind of broken up by these instrumental passages. And then Jimmy adds guitar overdubs on top of that. Like, it's really cool. I got a quote from Jimmy about these overdubs. He said, "There must be half a dozen going on at once. I knew that every guitar overdub had to be very important, very strong within itself to identify each section." So this is some well thought out shit, man.
Seek the man who's pointing hand, the giant stepper forward, guide us from the curving path that turns a beat to stone. If one bell should ring, celebration for a king, so fast the heart should be, as proud the heavy beats, yeah.
342, the song shifts. You get another solo from Jimmy. Fucking awesome. And then they change the tempo completely to 5/4 time. I know this is nerdy shit, but listen to the song and you'll know what I mean. I thought of this too. Everything comes back to Kiss, Reed. Bonham does these drum hits that, I don't know, sounds like Love Gun to me. I'm thinking, Kiss might have heard that. It's possible. It's possible. And then you get Jimmy, he's playing some slide into Plant doing that scat thing.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
part. Oh my God. It's unbelievable, man. And then 825, there's another Page solo. Awesome. You get Jones playing an 8-string bass, which is interesting. He said it added more mid-range during Page's solo so he could stand out. It's complex. It's powerful. What a way to open this album. It's epic. Proggy again, for sure. But it's metal too, hey? Like, it's a bit metal. I don't consider them a metal band, but this is a bit of a metal track. It stands out in their catalog, for sure.
It definitely has a heavy element that stands out a bit, but to me, it screams prog. Like, it's like, I can imagine a young Geddy and Alex listening to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I made a note of this because I just thought, I think this shit's funny. Just some notes from a couple critics on this song. One of them says, a galloping, dour, yet exhilarating onslaught of genuine heavy metal. Achilles' Last Stand can be seen as a precursor to the new wave of British heavy metal that would soon explode all over Europe. So that's positive. But dig this one. This one's from Spin Magazine. Nothing could be less satisfying than 10 minutes of Achilles' Last Stand. A simultaneously abrasive and boring ordeal.
Do you know what?
I'm hearing a different song, that's for sure.
I wonder, though, if you could take a time machine back, would you have felt that way about it the first time you heard it?
Oh, I loved it immediately, man.
You did it?
I did, yeah. At least I think I did. I mean, shit.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say. It's hard to imagine a time before you heard. But I feel like some of these songs that I do love now, I may not have loved the first time. Like, there may have been saving, like, parts of, oh, I like that bit there. But as a whole, I didn't appreciate it until I had some time to digest.
Well, when you're that young, a 10.5-minute song, you're like, what? I'll close with Page's quote on this one. Presence and my control over all the contributing factors on that album was so good for me. The solo in Achilles' Last Stand is in the same tradition as the solo from Stairway to Heaven. It's on that level to me. So he loves this one. You can tell he put a lot of work into this track. It's obvious. Yeah, Achilles' Last Stand is my number 4. Okay, number 3, dude.
My number 3, I tuned a guitar for this.
Oh, here we go. Oh, the acoustic. Nice.
Come on.
Dude, that last... Oh, my God. I was really hoping you were going to pick this song. Because I didn't, and it was killing me. It's beautiful, man. Oh, my God.
You know, this song came dangerously close to just going all the way to the top of my list. I just feel there's something about it. There's a feeling invoked by this song that I don't know that I get from so few other songs. And I don't exactly know what it is. It's not the lyrics. It's just everything. When I hear it, I feel transported.
Yeah, the Rain song, man. Like the way Plant delivers those lyrics. Like you said, I'm not hung up on what he's saying, but his delivery, man, it's just awesome.
Well, I mean, there are some amazing lyrics, you know, the bit about, upon us all, a little rain must fall, or something like that. That is poignant. It's very true, but it's so much more than that. You know, the whole feeling of the song. And Page's composition, you know, it's a very weird tuned. I don't even know if I can tell you what tuning this is right now. It's bizarre. Yeah, it's like it's a totally... I don't know of another song that uses this tuning.
And your ear, even if you're not a guitarist, picks up... This is unique. You can just tell from that first chord.
And the way he approaches it...
Another longer one, too, if I'm not mistaken.
It is long. It's a bit challenging for your average rock fan. Like, if you were a guy who would listen to a whole lot of Love,
Yeah.
that's a big stretch,
Yeah.
you know?
But again, that's what's so awesome about them, isn't it? Really.
Fucking massive balls.
Yeah. Massive balls.
Massive balls.
On that
and,
Jimmy Page.
and really creating music for the best reason, and that's because they want to. They're making the music that is the sound of them, not, well, you know, I really think It's minute 5. We haven't made it to the chorus yet. I think we need to work on that. And can we squeeze something about some beers in the back of our pickup into this? You know what I
We're
mean?
not going to get on American Bandstand with that. Can you shorten it? Can you make a shorter version?
Exactly, right? Yeah. Fuck that.
Okay, coming off of that one, this is nothing like that, which is the beauty of our list, Reed. My number 3, Silent Woman in the Night, You Came, Took My Seed from Shaking My Frame.
The Wanton song.
Oh, this thing rips. Oh, dude. Back to Graffiti.
Wow, I can't believe that's that high on your list.
Oh, this one rips. I love it, yeah. Kind of like the Lemon song where the song title is not in the lyrics, is my little fun fact. This is to your point, this is an underrated deep cut for me. It's awesome. Jimmy's riffs, catchy, funky again. Jones' bass line adds to the funk, of course. Bonham is on fire on this one. His snare sound and those little ghost notes he's doing, his feel is unbelievable.
There's still been nobody even remotely like him.
Unreal. Plant does a different, unique vocal delivery on this one. It's super cool. I can't sing it, obviously, so listen to it and you know what I mean.
Why don't you just give it a try?
Yeah. God, his vocals are insane. And Jimmy does this cool backwards guitar effect through a Leslie. You know, that part goes,
Yeah.
oh man, I love that. Super tight. I just love the energy of this one. The hard rock meets the funk vibe is what I put down. It's just ripping.
I mean, again, this is why it's so hard to pick 10 from them.
I got a quote from Jimmy here. Jimmy was told that Led Zeppelin's biggest hits, Stairway, Kashmir, Over the Hills and Far Away, don't have choruses. So he says, as far as I'm concerned, the riff in the Wonton song, for example, is the chorus. I could go on for half an hour and I would be completely riveted and satisfied. It's so powerful and concise that it never gets boring. Fuck yeah, Jimmy, you're right. Wonton song's my number 3, dude. Hey, what do you got for silver? What do you got for 2? We're winding down.
2, I have this guy. That spoke to me.
What's the name of that one again?
Something about what shouldn't be, or...
It's not the thing that should not be. No, that's another band.
You had to go there.
I did. Back to Zeppelin 2. Yeah, what a great tune. Yeah.
You know, it's funny, because if asked cold to pick my favorite songs, I may have missed this one, but I realized that I just get such enjoyment out of it. I like that sort of jazziness of it in that part, you know, and the crazy, like, kind of distorted vocal sound, you know, where you can hear him, if I say to you tomorrow. It's a vibe, but it's so creative and so cool. And then, of course, the heavy chorus just kind of sells it, which is not even that heavy. Like, it's heavier. But, you know, it's not heavy by today's standards. I was just playing along with some Whitesnake stuff, and that guitar sound is filthy. And Jimmy's guitar sound, even when it was big, it wasn't necessarily super distorted.
Well, Malcolm is like that.
Malcolm is the king of that.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's another story altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, the proving that bigger isn't always more distorted.
That's right. That vocal, you mentioned that vocal triggers. That's like Bring It On Home is kind of like that. Like, is that Robert Plant? I love that one. But it's such a lift. It didn't make my criteria. But I do love that. I do love that one.
I just have always loved this song. And then, I love at the end when they go to the... I mean, it's like,
on.
I love songs that give you something different on the way out.
Right. Good one.
Yeah. Didn't quite get you yet?
Yeah.
How about this, kid?
You think you've heard the whole thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, good
I love
one.
that. Yeah.
Good pick, man.
So, yeah, it's funny that it ended up that high on my list, but like I say, ask me again tomorrow.
But what is and what should never be? I catch the wind, see it's been sailed away, leave the day way up high in the sky. And won't the wind won't blow, really shouldn't go, only goes to show. Yeah, you will be mad about taking our time.
Okay, man, my number 2. Again, I'm a sucker for just the fucking bangers. We came from the land of the ice and snow, from the midnight sun where their hot springs flow. Hammer of the gods. Immigrant Song. Back to 3, 1970, Page and Plant. Opening track. Fun facts, the phrase Hammer of the Gods was used as the title of Stephen Davis's biography of the band. Of course, Hammer of the Gods, Zeppelin saga. Who hasn't read that? What's funny about that, not to go on a tangent, but you think, oh, the debauchery, till you read Motley Crue's The Dirt, and you're like, fucking Zeppelin were choir boys compared to these lunatics. But anyway, again, it features lyrical references to Norse mythology and Valhalla.
It certainly does.
Inspired the classic heavy metal myth of Viking-esque figures on an adventure, themes which have been adopted in the look and lyrics of Iron Maiden, Saxon, and Manowar.
And School of Rock.
And School of Rock, that's right. I love, Reed, that opening scream from Plant. Like, I wish they would have done it 3 times in the song instead of 2. It's my favorite part. It's so badass. Oh my God.
It is so badass. It's almost a little abrasive, actually. It's not what we typically hear. It's a tritone, so it's a... Right?
Right.
So it's a flat 5, which is the devil's interval.
And that staccato riff, which you just played. Oh, man, it's awesome.
It is. It's one of the best, simplest, but most effective riffs of all time. I missed it somehow. It's not on my list, but you're hooked immediately when you hear it. And then the screaming thing, which was a bold choice, but so effective, and is, again, you're just like, more. I want more of that, whatever that is, please. And then into the...
You say more and more. That's my only complaint. It's too fucking short. Add another verse to this one. Come on.
I like it.
It leaves you wanting more. That's
it
for
does
sure.
leave you wanting more, and especially from a band who regularly had epic long songs.
True.
They knew when to just go. Nope, that's it.
And I don't consider Zeppelin to be a heavy metal band, but this one's pretty metal.
It is pretty metal. And then the capper to me, though, is at the end when they give you that.
It just ends, yeah. Boom.
You're just like, I'll hear that one again.
Back that needle up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They knew when to keep it simple.
My quote on this one is Plant talking about the lyrics. He said, "We weren't being pompous. We did come from a land of the ice and snow. We were guests of the Icelandic government on a cultural mission. We were invited to play a concert, and the day before we arrived, all the civil servants went on strike, and the gig was going to be canceled. The university prepared a concert hall for us, and it was phenomenal. The response from the kids was remarkable, and we had a great time. Immigrant Song was about that trip, so there you go. There's my little fun fact. Immigrant Song's my number 2. Okay, man, I think I know what your number 1 is. I would bet anything it's not mine, which is great.
I know it's not yours because mine doesn't fit with your criteria.
That's right. It doesn't. That's right.
So what is it?
It's Whole Lotta Love.
It is Whole Lotta Love. You know why? Because it's Whole Lotta Love. Because Whole Lotta Love is arguably the greatest riff ever written for guitar.
I'd argue it. It's Burn, Reed. It's Burn.
No, it's not. And I love Burn, and I love Richie Blackmore.
I know.
That's a fucking discussion for another day. Because I love Blackmore. I think Blackmore is the tits.
Absolutely.
I love Richie Blackmore. But Whole Lotta Love is a better riff. It is so instantly, like, why didn't I think of that?
Right, because it's not complicated, is it?
It's more complicated than what people think, you know, but only because he does that. And he bends once, so you get the... I mean, it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, just repeats over and over again. It's not complex. The song's not complex. The only thing, it goes into the long noise section and then there's the guitar solo bit. But other than that, it's all the fucking same thing.
Yeah, it is pretty repetitive, isn't it? Yeah.
And yet, wow, did they ever do something with it? And again, everybody is right on the fucking mark. And this song influenced so many guitar players, so many drummers, so many singers, so many songs, so many albums. A whole genre.
And talk about being fearless going into that whole psychedelic-y fucking interlude there. Who's doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty out there.
Yeah.
And admittedly, of a time.
Yeah.
But what a time.
Indeed.
And that's why today, at least for me, it's Whole Lotta Love.
You need cooling, baby, I'm not fooling. I'm gonna send you back to school, way down inside. Honey, you need it. I'm gonna give you my love. I'm gonna give you my love. Oh, want a whole lot of love. Want a whole lot of love.
Okay, my number 1. This has always been my number 1, criteria or not, because I'm breaking my own rules on this one, Reed.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, because I had to, because it's been my favorite Zeppelin song for a long time. Trying to Save My Soul to Light. Oh, it's nobody's fault but mine.
Wow.
Is my number 1. Presence, 1976, Page Plant. Fun facts. It was first recorded by gospel blues artist Blind Willie Johnson in 1927. Sounds nothing like the Zeppelin version, but that's where they got it. And lyrically, it's been compared to Robert Johnson's Hellbound on My Trail. That intro, dude, is so bitchin'. It's just Jimmy's guitar and Robert Plant singing that guitar melody.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's good. Apparently, Jimmy triple-tracked the guitar. He's playing one guitar an octave higher than the others, and he's using a phaser, right? You get that phasey sound. Then it follows that call and response thing again, Reed, which I fucking love, man. It's a stop-start masterpiece is my note between Plant's vocals and Jimmy on slide. Like, it's just wicked.
It's another glaring omission on my part, for sure. But yeah, what an amazing song.
Oh, and Plant's harmonica solo halfway through is awesome. Another amazing solo from Jimmy, and he won towards the end too. The rhythm section is killing it throughout this whole thing. John Paul Jones' bass locks in with Bonham's kick drum. Do you know what I mean? It's incredible. Like his right foot was something else, man. Like,
Oh, it was.
and it's evident in this song big time, man. Oh my God. My favorite part though, Reed, is the Plant vocal around the 6-minute mark when it goes, how do you kick that gong to light? And he goes, no, 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 but it's fault. I mean, I can't do it, but it's just my favorite part of the song, man.
Yeah. It's
And then
amazing.
you get what I love is that hard out. Out. Fucking wicked. And I got another Rick Rubin quote. A traditional blues, twisted through a trippy psychedelic filter. They played with such precision, doing these odd arrangements that sound like loose jams, but they're really choreographed. And man, that's perfectly said, right? It sounds like chaos, but it's not. It's my number one, dude. This is what these guys do best. Straight ahead blues, based, hard rock with tons of power, and the musicianship is through the roof. I fucking love this song, man. It's my number one. Nobody's fault but mine.
It's a great choice.
Nobody's fault but mine.
Honorable mentions, Reed. What do you got? Give me 3. Try to keep it to 3.
Man, this was almost harder than, and harder again now that I realize I missed Achilles' Last Stand and Nobody's Fault But Mine. I mean, I did feel the need to add Stairway to Heaven in there. I don't really need to hear it a lot more in my lifetime, but as a crowning achievement, it's hard to argue. And the different movements of the song, the different places it goes to, and the sheer iconic nature of the various parts, starting with the opening of the song. I mean, in 2 notes, you know exactly what's happening.
It was the slow dance song when we were younger, Reed. That long slow dancer. You gotta get the chick.
Well, it wasn't all slow, though.
Yeah, then you had to be dorky white guy with the solo come in. But that guitar solo, oh my God, man.
Yeah.
Come on. I never get tired of that part. Ever.
It's an achievement, and it deserves to be as renowned as it is. What comes with that, though, when you write a truly great piece of music, then a lot of people want to listen to it, and then it gets overplayed.
Every big band has, like Skinner with Freebird. Freebird's incredible.
Yeah.
It's their Freebird or whatever.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying the stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for.
I picked a couple of the same songs that you had on your list. I had Black Dog and Kashmir were definitely on there. Dancing Days.
That's a different one.
I love that song. I really do. And It's a great sort of open G tune song for Jimmy, but he's very Jimmy in it. Yeah, it's the band being very what they are.
Dancing days are here again. Summer evenings go. I got my flower, I got my power. I got a woman who knows. I said it's alright, you know it's alright. I guess it's all in my heart. You'll be my only, my one and only. Is that the way it should start?
Did you ever hear STP cover that?
Oh, yeah.
It's identical
Yeah.
and therefore not as interesting in the
It's still too spot on, yeah. There's been a couple of Zeppelin tribute albums. They're hard to cover unless you just got to mix it up.
When it's something that's that iconic, it's hard because you kind of want to put your own spin on it, but if you do, it's just
I know.
like, well, it's going to be worse.
It's a lose-lose. Yeah.
It's going to be worse for sure. Like, you know, how much worse is the question, right? So,
No, I'm thinking of that Tea Party with Kearns on it, out of the tiles.
right.
I thought that was kind of cool, actually. It was cool to hear Todd on the background vocals. I thought it was
Standing in the noonday sun, trying to flag a ride. People go and people come, see my rider by my side. It's a total disgrace, but they set the pace. It must be a race. The best thing I can do is run. All I need you is all your love. All you gotta give to me is all your love.
Misty Mountain Hop was another one I had.
That was on my short list, or long list, I should say. Yeah.
It's one of the ones I remember when I told you that I got Zepp 4 on a cassette from my cousin without knowing even who the artist was. That's a song that I really remember. It just really affected me. I like the keyboard piano riff that turns into the guitar riff, you know? It's another iconic riff. Down, 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 down.
It's an upbeat, kind of almost poppy one for them, really. Yeah.
Almost, except for that, you know, there's a weird timing in the verses.
Yes. Right.
Right? Walking in the park just the other day, baby. Now. It's like, when are they going to get back to it?
That's true.
Takes you by surprise almost, right?
Walking in the park just the other day, baby. What do you think I saw? Crowds of people sitting on the grass with flowers in their heads said, "Hey boy, do you want to score?"
Now you got me thinking of that album. Like, it didn't meet my criteria, but When the Levee Breaks is fucking awesome, too.
I mean, it's hard not to have. That was another one that was on my list.
Yeah.
For the drum performance and sounds almost by itself, almost.
Everybody's trying to replicate that drum sound.
Everybody has. And
Yeah.
it's been sampled to death. They created something for all time.
Totally, man.
Yeah.
Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay, man. My first one is Communication Breakdown.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's super heavy, raw, super fast for that time period. Mm-hmm. I mean, pretty awesome. Apparently, Jimmy's guitar riff was inspired by this Eddie Cochran tune, Nervous Breakdown. That's my little fun fact.
Communication breakdown, it's always the same. Having a nervous breakdown, drive me insane. Oh,
Now, this one, the band doesn't like. But I do. They've never played it live, Reed. They don't like it. But I like, with a purple umbrella and a 50-cent hat, Mrs. Cool rides out of her aged Cadillac. Livin' Lovin' Maid. I like it.
I like it too. Except for I don't think of it as its own song. I think of it as like the sort of epilogue to
Right after Heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker, yeah.
Radio stations at that time, they would play them as one thing because it
Yeah.
just, boom, it's right in there,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I've always liked it, man. It's a song about a groupie who stalked the band early in their career, who guitarist Jimmy Page described as a degenerate old woman trying desperately to be young. That's what he said.
Well, like him now?
Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. What's he to talk? Yeah. Oh, man. I love it, man. The band hates it, but I love it.
With a purple umbrella and a 50-cent hand. Living, loving, she's just a woman to school rides out in her age Cadillac. Living, loving, she's just a woman. Come on, babe, on the roundabout, right on the merry-go-round. We all know what the name is, so you better lay your money down.
And my last honorable mention, this is a fucking deep cut. It starts out like a murmur, then it grows like thunder until it bursts inside of you. You know that lyric?
I don't.
It's a deep one, man. It was recorded during the In Through the Outdoor sessions in 78, but due to space constraints, it was one of 3 songs recorded which were omitted and later released on Coda. Ozone Baby and Darlene are the other 2. You're telling me Hot Dog is better than Wearing and Tearing? Wearing and Tearing is awesome. I love this one. They did it at Nebworth live.
It's a cool track. I don't know that it would have made my list, but I agree with you though. Hot Dog beat it out. Like,
Come on, man. Or either one of those other ones. Coda's got some good shit on it, man. Punk rock was all the rage. And they were like, I'll show you guys how to fucking rip. And I think they do, man. Stop-start thing. The verses do that stop-start thing. And then the chorus is just Robert Plant going, you know. That's all it is. But over and over. But Jimmy's riff is ripping. It's a banger. I love it. Comes in hot and it doesn't let up. I love him at this tempo, Reed, is what I'm saying. I love him just giving her. Yeah, Wearing and Tearing is my final one.
When you keep convincing, I don't keep convincing, but what's that creeping up behind you? It's just an old friend. It's just an old friend. And what's that he's got for you?
Okay, man, any final thoughts on Zeppelin before we sign this thing off?
no, I mean, what else can you say? Are they the greatest rock and roll band ever? Maybe. They're certainly in the running.
They would be in my top 3, I think. I mean, the Stones are pretty good.
Stones are not bad.
They don't have the longevity is the thing, right? It's not their fault, I know, but
I don't think that really matters. In fact, they were that important in that short period of time. It is the other way to look at it.
if you look at In Through the Outdoor, Reed, some of that stuff, maybe if they would have continued, it wouldn't have been great.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
saying. So maybe it's good the way it is.
I mean, it's happened to so many bands.
Yeah.
Right? There just comes a certain point where whatever was driving you clearly ain't driving you anymore. You're not the same person who you were when you started. And that's okay, but it was that person who made all this timeless, important music. You know, I'm not speaking about any artist in particular. I'm just saying we've seen it happen multiple times where it's like, fuck, when they came out, they were unbelievable.
Well, they're the complete package. They're multi-generational. Like, kids get into this band still. Amazing songs. The playing is off the charts. Live, they're killer. They're cool, Reed. We haven't said the C word. Like Jimmy Page and Robert Plant. Who's cooler than that? The dragon suit and the whole Plant with basically his dick hanging out of his pants.
Yeah, with his blouse.
This lady's blouse on.
Flowered blouse.
Oh, man. They had it all going on, man. And back to that point, they didn't really tarnish the legacy like a lot of these heritage acts do. They didn't.
Which is fantastic. You know, they were getting close. They weren't as cool toward the end there. Jimmy's fucking padded baggy suits and the fucking padded shoulders and stuff like that.
I mean, look at the Firm and some of that stuff he did. It was nowhere near on this level. So it's four guys. It's not just Jimmy.
Yeah. No. He was super important.
Yeah.
It was his baby, but he couldn't have done it without the other.
No.
Yeah.
You know, they've only got one uncool thing, Reed, and we touched on this earlier, but these guys made millions and millions of dollars ripping off blues artists, and they had to be sued into giving them credit and financial compensation. Like, that's fucking lame. Like, at least the Stones took these guys out on tour, had them open shows. Like, they were kind of pricks that way, I thought. Willie Dixon had to sue them to get his name underneath some of these songs. Like, you shouldn't have to do that.
That's not right.
No, it's not. So that's the only uncool thing I made note of.
You're right. That sucks.
And they did, like we said, they reunited 4 times with mixed results. So Live Aid, they did Rock and Roll, Whole Lot of Love, and Stairway. You had Phil Collins and Tony Thompson on drums, and it kind of was a bit of a train wreck. So much so that if I've got the Live Aid box set DVD, it's not on there. Hey, they wouldn't allow it. So that tells you all you need to know there. Atlantic Records 40th anniversary in 88, Jason Bonham on drums. They did 5 songs. Kashmir, Heartbreaker, Whole Lot of Love, Misty Mountain Hop, and Stairway. Again, wasn't great. I think Jimmy was fucked right up at that point. Like, he was not healthy. And then in 95, Jason on drums again with Steven and Joe from Aerosmith and Neil Young. They did Train Kept a Rollin', Bring It On Home, a blues medley, and When the Levee Breaks at that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. Super raw. It's not bad. Only time I saw Robert Plant playing a Les Paul reed. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then, of course, they did the 07 one-off tribute to Ahmet Ertegun there at the O2 Arena. I got the DVD right here. I mean, 20 million, roughly, requests for 20,000 seats. And I think, as much as you don't probably like this with Jason on drums, they did prove they still had it and bow it out. I think the Blu-ray's good. Like, they kind of had something to prove on one show, and I think they did it.
I don't disagree with that, but obviously I never saw Zeppelin. I'm not that old. I do wish that I'd seen them, but I wish I'd seen them, around
75 be perfect. Physical Graffiti Tour, I think, is what I would want to see.
I would even go earlier, to be honest with you.
eh?
Even though a lot of the great material came later,
Yeah.
I would go earlier because I just want to see them just be the 4 of them. It's the same thing as Van Halen. A lot of people say, 84 was the best tour. I saw 84.
Oh,
It was not the best tour.
fair warning, by far.
Fair warning, kicked the living shit out of that.
I'm with you there, brother. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because they were still a little bit hungry. They still had something to prove.
Yeah.
And that's when I would like to have seen Zeppelin.
Well, you can thank Robert Plant, because you know as well as I do, if Plant would have greenlit it, Jimmy would have kept going.
Absolutely.
Because it's all he has. He's remastered that catalog how many times? Like, it's all he has, man. He would have done it for sure.
He definitely would have done it. And I can't even fault him, because I probably would too if I was him.
Yeah.
But I still actually do think it's for the best that they don't.
I agree. And my final thought, and we've kind of hammered this home already, but the thing I love about this band the most is their fearlessness. You said it. They blend all these different styles in the span of, forget a catalog of music, one fucking album, man. Like, it's blues, funk, rock, reggae, ballads, they own them all. And they eventually, you know this, a Physical Graffiti Tour, they eventually did like an acoustic set as part of the show, way before MTV Unplugged was a thing. Like, they were doing that. Like, who's doing that? Well, they are, right? They're just a fucking amazing band. We'll never see the likes of them again. Period.
No, we won't. That was one thing that was apparent to me as I was watching the doc, actually. It's like, this can't happen now.
It seems like younger generations, because they're so big, do get into this band, but you just hope they do. Like, you watch Beato. He talks to kids who, they don't even know who the Beatles are. Like, it's happening already. They have no fucking clue.
Well, it's ancient history. It's like, can you hum me 5 fucking Bach?
Yeah, I was just going to say some classical shit, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do dabble.
You're a music guy, though. Like, imagine, you're 5 average people. Art is of a time, and great art does have a lifetime, and that lifetime eventually will dim and fade away.
I suppose, but, when I was younger, to me, if you're into something, let's say it's movies. Let's get off music. It's movies. When I was a kid, I was too young to see The Godfather in a theater. But if you're into movies, you're going to watch it.
Sure, absolutely. But that was only like 10 years out of your time.
That's right. We're talking
know what
a
I mean?
decade here. Yeah, you're right.
Were you watching fucking...
Charlie Chaplin.
yeah, Charlie Chaplin films?
Silent movies.
Because that's about the same time frame.
You're
like
right.
when was Charlie Chaplin active? Was that the 20s or something?
Probably, I don't know. But you're right, yeah.
So the 20s to the 70s is 50 years, right? Do the math. It's
Yeah.
now been 50 years since 75.
Yeah, that's a long time. I just, you know as well as I do. And it's not just fucking get off my lawn and old men yelling at clouds. 70s, 80s, and 90s, the music was 1,000 times better than it is now. Yeah, there is good stuff, of course. But overall, are you kidding me? It can't even come close.
At a certain point, it does get hard to argue. I mean, I've always
Come
tried
on.
to play the devil's advocate and go, well, you know, it might not be as good to us, but that's because we are of our time and we liked what we liked. And everybody tends to have that. People hang on to the personal style, even their clothes or their hairdo or whatever, of the time when they felt the most themselves. And along with that, the music. And people love that. Nostalgia is a very powerful, powerful thing. And it applies to more than just music. It applies to, as you said, movies, pop culture in general. It's painting with an awfully broad brush to just go, my stuff was the best. Because the people who are older than us could say the same thing.
I suppose. But there was
Yeah.
a time when rock and roll didn't even exist, so.
Exactly. Rock and roll is a fairly young art form, you know. If you count like Chuck Berry and, you know, Little Richard and Elvis and stuff like that as sort of the beginnings of the earliest, at least commercial rock and roll. I mean, I know Tutti Frutti and Heartbreak Hotel, but I don't listen to that shit all the time.
I don't listen to it all the time, but I definitely know it. I listen to that stuff.
But again, that's not as far removed for you as even Led Zeppelin is to the kids of today.
Right. And there's more distractions.
There is more distractions, you're absolutely right, but think of the just straight up math.
The straight up math of it, yeah. Totally.
The straight up math, it sucks because it makes you feel like I'm going to die sometime soon.
Oh, that's a whole other angle, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But man, if we look right now at the Spotify top 10, oh, God. Are you kidding me?
Well, and that I will agree with you on. Not only is it bad, but it's the same bad over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. You know, that's beyond my power. And frankly, I don't care. All you can do is like what you like. And if you're a creator, create what you like.
Yeah.
Like Zeppelin did. Do you know what I mean? The problem, I think, that's rooted in a lot of today's music is it's done with the express purpose of, I'm going to have a hit. That's why it ends up all sounding the same.
Okay, look at this. My son watches Stranger Things. And the music that they've had on that, it's all from the 80s, I believe. And kids are getting into it. Oh, what's this? That's my point. Like, it's really good. And this led to this Rick Beato video I just watched. He pulled up the Grammy nominations this year, went through them all, and compared them to, I think it was 84 Grammy nominations. It was 2 Michael Jackson songs, a Lionel Richie song, these iconic, amazing fucking songs. And then he played whatever's nominated for a Grammy this year. And he goes, yeah, that one's okay. And there's 18 songwriters on one song, this kind of shit.
Well, it's because, yeah, basically, a lot of those songwriters may or may not have even contributed anything. They're just like, oh, if we're doing your song, then we'll be getting 10%.
That's right. All right, Reed, that's a wrap, man. Thanks for joining me. That was fucking awesome.
That sucked. It was hard.
It was terrible. We finally got to it, man. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, man. That was great.
All right, we'll talk again soon. But not too soon. I need time.
That's right. I give you lots of time. Thanks to you guys for checking us out. We appreciate you taking the time to hang with Reed and I. Post your favorite Zeppelin songs and memories in the comments. Has anybody out there seen these guys? My brother-in-law's brother saw them in Vancouver, and he was too high on acid. He doesn't remember it. I'm like, fuck. Anybody else? Give me something. We'd love to hear from you guys too. You can find us on all the socials or wherever podcasts are broadcast. If you haven't already, do me a solid. Hit that subscribe button, kids. And until next time, on behalf of Reed Shimozawa and myself, keep rock alive, people. Peace out.
Read out. Bye.
Elvis has left the building.